Hello, in this video we're looking at Macbeth's reaction to Lady Macbeth's death. And as usual, I'm confining myself to only the one quotation because I want to show you how to get the top grade with any quotation. So in this soliloquy that Macbeth has been discussing his wife's death, he's used an extended metaphor where he compares life to a candle, and then the living to actors who struck their hour upon a stage, and then the play is over, just like life is over, and that's it, your part is done and you're dead. So this is a really interesting idea because it portrays Macbeth as someone who is aware that he is playing a part. So at this stage, he's standing outside his existence because he can already see the end. Now, I'm not analysing those quotations. What I'm analysing now is his nihilistic view, and because he's effectively turned against Christianity, turned against the beliefs of people in the audience. And so one question that we'll ask ourselves is are these Macbeth's beliefs, or does Shakespeare secretly share them? Okay, in nihilism, you believe that there is nothing but this life, but that therefore life has no meaning. There's no point to it. And so that is expressed entirely in this idea that it is signifying nothing. However, he's also describing life as a tale. So here we can see Shakespeare talking to us directly, because all his plays are tales. So this is where you'll start to talk about the context. A tale, of course, has a moral purpose. It's also partly to instruct. And again, this could be Shakespeare directly telling us that he has a message for us to receive. Now, the reason this makes it quite interesting is there's an obvious meaning to this tale, and that meaning is, do not attempt to kill your king. It will lead to your own personal tragedy. And so King James could see this, again in context, as a play that's demanding that his subjects respect him, and that there is no other way to exist except your king, and rejoice in the fact that God has appointed him. But we can flip that on its head and ask whether these are just Macbeth's words, or what if they're Shakespeare's? What if Shakespeare is saying, actually, there is no wider meaning because there is no God. We're here for a short time, there's no heaven, there's no hell, and that would mean that life is pointless unless you can craft something out of it. And of course, what Shakespeare does is craft plays. So this could be his way of saying, this is the way I found meaning in life, but actually let's acknowledge that there is no meaning. It's up to each of us to write a tale that is interesting, be that our own lives or the record of what we create. Right, if we return now out of context, simply looking at language, we can look at this as something that Macbeth is saying to himself. Again, what we're looking at is an element of distance. So psychologically, Macbeth doesn't want to accept that he has been an idiot in following what the witches have told him. Instead, he says everybody's life is a tale, and everyone behaves as an idiot for believing in that tale. And so we're all idiots for believing that there's a purpose in life, that there's a God waiting for us at the other end. And my level of idiocy is no worse than yours, which is quite interesting, isn't it? This is an attempt for Macbeth to justify his own actions. So we can call this moral relativism. So he's saying, right, my morality might not be what you accept, but actually it doesn't matter because we're all leading lives like this that are full of sound and fury, and in the end they don't matter. And that's a really easy way then to justify killing, isn't it? Because if there is no purpose in life, well, it doesn't matter if I kill someone else. I'm not taking away anything that precious and I'm not offending a god who's going to punish me. We can go a little bit deeper now into the alliteration of the T in tail, the T in told, and the T in idiot, and we can talk about this harsh sound that he's using, perhaps to criticize himself, even though he's trying to criticize a wider world. Ultimately, he's trying to run away from responsibility for what he's done. We can also look at the fricative sounds, the repetition of full and fury. So biologically speaking, we've evolved to make sure that our worst swear word begins with F, because when you pronounce that, you bare your teeth. And that's why in the English language, it's used with aggressive words usually, because we are physically aggressive. That's how we would have evolved, to show our aggression to other apes. And you know, if you watch animals, that's what they do. So there's an interesting biological point that you can bring to the alliterative use of the fricative F. Yep, so the fricative and the alliteration reveals his sense of rage, not just at himself, but at the pointlessness of life. Use this vocabulary and try and write a paragraph or two of your own, zooming in on individual words here, and see how you do. If you've watched my previous videos, you might have spotted the Trochaic meter here. So I'm just going to show you. That line is no longer iambic. Hopefully you'll remember that means the first syllable, if it's trochaic, must be stressed. And whenever Shakespeare breaks his iambic pentameter, that's usually a clue as to some problem. Here it's Macbeth's psychological problem of blaming the world for being idiots, blaming life for being an irrelevant tale, but actually the real blame could be himself. So if you'd like more videos, don't forget to subscribe. I'll just type Trochaic there for you. Have a look at my other Macbeth videos, and don't settle for less than 100%. Good luck in your revision.